Okay, I'm blowing out these leaves. I'm using a backpack blower made. It's a Poland Pro backpack blower. It does the job pretty good. For the money, I think I paid like I think they're selling them for around $220 plus tax. It's a little bit easier than a backpack. I mean, than a handheld blower, but it really don't have much more power than a handheld blower. It's about the same, but it's just a little easier because you're not carrying all the weight with your arms. And it might have just a little bit more power. It had a little screen. I don't tell people to take this apart, but it had a little bit of a. It's got a screen on the outside where it sucks the air in, and then it's got another screen inside that one that's white. But I take that out for a little. Gives a. I thought it give it just a little bit more air. It seemed like to me it did, but I don't advise anybody to do that because it might. It's on there for safety reasons, so it don't suck something in there and tear up the blades. But anyway, that's what I use. But it's pretty good too for blowing out beds like I'm doing here because it doesn't have. You can blow it out pretty good without blowing all the rocks and stuff out of it. And the mulch you can. I got it set at a fast idle. A lot of times I just let it idle and blow the leaves out so it don't blow the mulch and everything. But it does a pretty good job at that. You know, if you're blowing out beds, a lot of beds, it's a pretty good bed blower. It gets, I don't know how, one of these days I'm going to buy a little bit better blower because I know if I get around some plants that have a lot of limbs and grass area like that there, it's kind of rough getting the leaves out of there. I guess I could just get me a small rake and rake them out, but who wants to do that, right? Anyway, it's a Poland Pro backpack blower is what I'm using, and I've had it for 2.5 years. And the only thing I've had problems with it is the carburetor, which I think everybody has carburetor problems with their gas powered stuff. But the main issue with the carburetor was if the bolts backed out on it, and I didn't notice. I started adjusting it, and I thought, oh, and then I figured out the carburetor bolts itself was coming loose, and there wasn't no way. You can't adjust it if it's coming loose, sucking air by the gasket. So I ended up having to make a new gasket. I just made one. I grabbed me some cardboard, like a shoebox cardboard, cut me a gasket out of that, put it on there, and that's what I've been running all year. It's made it a season. I mow about 35 yards a week, and some of them are pretty big. Like this one here is a big leaf. This is a leaf job on one of my yards. I'm blowing out all the leaves, and right now I'm just going around blowing all the leaves out around the house and out of the beds. And it actually has some big flower beds out in the big flower beds out in the yard. I had to blow out, and the culverts by the end of their driveway. They got a big circle driveway. They got two entrances, and had to blow out the ditches with the leaves. The ditches ain't too bad. I can drive through them with my mower. All ditches should be made like theirs, where you can drive a mower down in and out. It'd make it a lot easier on people to do what you got to do. Keep it looking good. Anyways, these are real nice people I work for here, and I've had other videos about this house, and they've given me a present, like I guess you call it, or a bonus, or appreciation package. I called it, that I made a video on one time. Where they give me some gloves and some mask and different things. But anyway, I've also had these the same people. They've served me lunch before. They made a point. They wanted to give me lunch next time I came, so I told them what time I'd be there. I made sure I was there about lunchtime, and actually sat out on their back patio and had some stew, like roast beef stew stuff that she fixed homemade, and it was really good. So anyway, I'm blowing all these leaves out here. What I need to do is probably I messed up my video. Anyway, yeah, blowing all these leaves out here. I'm gonna stop this video here in a minute. Okay, I'm blowing all these beds out in this yard, but I want to talk about something else while we're blowing all this out, and talk about how much money you need to make to do something like this. But if you had a crew out there, you were paying them, you know, you've had two, three people helping you, and you're paying, say, $10 a piece, and you got two extra guys. That's $20 an hour, you know. Plus, you got to come up with that taxes and to do it right, other expenses to go with it. So I'm not to the point right now where I can have people and be paying them, but I want to get to the point where I'd like to have two guys helping me. But on top of that, if I had two guys help me, this job would have got done probably twice as fast, because we could have been mulching leaves and blowing all this out at the same time. Or we had two blowers going and a mower going would have been, and then once we got the blowing alls done, two more people could have hopped on mowers and wiped it out. It would make sense to have, you could get a lot more done. And that will probably that's my future plans. I'd love to be able to give the opportunity to some people looking for teenagers. It'd be teenagers probably that are needing summer work, or maybe a young man that has a family. I'd like to be able to give somebody an opportunity to make some money and work. You know, I'd like to be able to provide a good job for somebody in the future. But anyway, in a little bit, you'll see the mower that I mulched all these leaves up with. Let me see. Let's see where we're at here on this thing. Got a little bit longer to go here. But that's my goal, kind of, is to grow enough to have two people working with me, and then to where I can take care of the office more, because there is a lot of work in the office too. I'm behind on my receipts, but let's see. I got actually, this is my last week of the month. I got to get going because I got the rest of this week. After I get Christmas out of the way here, I'll be hitting it hard. Today's the 21st, so we got Christmas coming up on the 25th. So, you know, I like having all my receipts into the computer and all my papers all in order for taxes on December 31st. I guess that way I like starting my new year off fresh. So I'm going to really be putting in some hours here, kind of like college kids are, I guess, when they're cramming for finals. I'm going to be cramming for getting my books in order. When I get my books in order, I got to have it all in order by midnight on the 31st of December. And I will, if unless something drastic happens. But I got a few hundred receipts to enter into my computer, and there's quite a few receipts. I got gas receipts and equipment breakdowns, and I don't know what else. I got insurance stuff and just all kinds of things. When you got tools I buy, I work on all my own equipment, so I got tools I got to buy to fix stuff and came up video. This is my first time I've done this narrating over a video. There's my ditches, but it's coming up to a split here. I'm gonna see if it keeps going and see if hopefully I can hit a keep going and I'll be able to just go right on through this next thing. This next segment's gonna be showing me getting my mower off this trailer, and then I'm gonna be mulching some of these leaves up out in this yard. You see that house back there? That house is really neat. It's got rock walls that are like a foot thick, or about probably almost 2 foot thick, and they go in all around the house. And on the inside of the house, the walls on the inside are the same thing. I mean, it's awesome. It's like a castle. They said it's really efficient, the heat and everything, but it's got like 2 foot thick walls all through the house and everything. It's really neat. Feel like you're in a cave when you're inside of it. But there, I'm putting some gas in, getting it ready to go. I got an old gas tank there. I need to upgrade my gas tank. I'm gonna probably get me a new one. What I want to get me is a tank in my truck, probably, or I may get me one of them caddies. It's like a caddy fuel tank. It's like a dolly, and it holds about 15 gallon. And it's got a little pump on it where you pump it in. That way, if I switch trailers, I can just switch my tank. I keep my fuel on my trailer that way in a caddy. I'll probably end up buying one of them, or I may end up making me one. There she got going. I'm going to go mow. I'm not mowing. I'm busting up the leaves with the mower. I got a mulcher kit on it that I made myself. I took some steel and I beat it with a hammer and I bent it to where it was the same shape as the mower deck, and then I got it held on with a bungee strap. But it does pretty good. Those are pretty thick leaves, and it was cold that day, and some of these leaves are still kind of frozen to the ground. I didn't know if I'd be able to even do it, but they are frozen to the ground, some of them. But I ended up getting it done pretty good. I don't even think I show you the results, but it's just the way it is. But anyway, this is the way I do it. I blow it all out and then I mulch them up. This year has been pretty good. I haven't had to haul any leaves off any yards because everybody's let me mulch them up. Because I have done some other yards. This yard here, actually, I used to load all these leaves up and haul them off. But I actually just took some money off the price and I mulched them. I really don't get it done any faster, except for I'm not having to haul the leaves off. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up here. This is about all. I'm just trying this narrating. Hopefully I'll get better at narrating videos and not taking you guys for a ride here with me on the mower. But I'm going to end this video with a little bit of the sounds of mulching leaves with my mower. So I hope you all subscribe to me, and we'll talk to y'all later. And everybody have a good day, and God bless.